Hello everybody, this is MFC 1988 here, and today's video I've come to give you my thoughts regarding the PlayStation 5 Pro. From what I have seen, and from what I have heard, and the feedback, there is going to be a few teeny tiny bits of the upside, and then the rest is going to be negative. Now, let's get to the upsides let's get to the positives. Sorry, the teeny tiny positives, and then we're going to get back, and then we're going to speak on to the negatives. The teeny tiny upsides to the PS5 Pro is you get a better GPU, a 2TB hard drive, and a higher ray tracing, and a slightly better game performance, picture performance. Those are the upsides. The reason being, I want to talk about the ray tracing and the picture quality. With the regular PlayStation 5, the first PS5, not the Slim, but the one before that, or as you could say, the fat PS5, if you want to call it that. My one has a disk drive because you get like two versions as well as the PS5 Slim. Both of these versions of these PlayStation 5s, you get a disc. You can go for physical, which contains, if you want to have the disc drive because you want to collect physical games, and also for films, or you can go digital. Now for me, it's always been a mixture bag of both. I do have the disc drive. My one has the disc drive, so I've got the disc version. But some of my games are physical. I do have physical copies of certain of a couple of games, like Resident Evil 4, Baldur's Gate 3, Stellar Blade, and I've got a couple of digital games, ranges like Trepang here, which you see. This is digital. The Tomb Raider 1 to 3 remastered, Resident Evil 2 and 3, and also 4 because I got that digital before I got it physical. Because you get like the free upgrade to PS5. Now regarding the PlayStation 5, and I think with the PS5 Slim, you have the options for fidelity, which you get the better graphics quality as well as ray tracing, but it only runs at 30 frames per second. Or you can go for performance, which runs at a 60 frames per second, but the graphic quality, like the ray tracing, has been dialed down. Now with the PS5 Pro, you will have fidelity and performance both running as one, so you don't have to switch back and forth. I haven't noticed much difference when it comes to the games, except for one runs in fidelity at 30 frames and the other runs at a solid 60 frames performance as well as fidelity at the same time. The picture is, I kind of notice it's a bit slightly sharper, and the draw distance is kind of better. That's the only upside to the PS5 Pro, and apparently sharper ray tracing as well. But I haven't noticed a difference because I've tried, because I had a look on this one and I checked on like you said, they did both videos side by side, where one was running in fidelity at 30 frames per second with ray tracing, and they got the same game with The Last of Us Part 2 was running at a solid 60 frames per second, and you had fidelity mode running at the same time, is where you can see the ray tracing. But I couldn't notice any of the difference between the ray tracing at all. I couldn't notice any difference. I even squinted my eyes before it looks like I was going blind, and I couldn't notice any difference. I went up to the screen, like right up to my TV. I was like, I can't see any difference here, except one is running 30 frames per second and the other one's running 60 frames per second. That's the only difference I noticed. Now, those are the upsides. Is where you get fidelity and performance running as one, so you don't have to switch back and forth. Now we're going to go on to the negatives. And first off, I'm going to start off with the price for this thing. $699 US, 699 British pounds, and 799 euros. Sony is nothing more than a blatant cash grab and a scam when it comes to putting the price for this console. The reason being is there's two things that are missing, but you will have to get separate. The disk drive and the vertical stand. The disk drive, I don't know how much the disk drive is in the UK because and Europe, because my PS5, my first PS5, the first model PS5, already has a disk drive installed. Now, for what I've read in the US, the disk drive is $80. $80. So there is. So if the equivalent of say $700 US, right? So put it say to US $700 US. That is $780 altogether. And if you want to get the vertical stand, that leads up to $810. Now, if I added that up at the same time as the British pounds and the euros, it will be £810 and 910 euros. Now, this is nothing more than a blatant cash grab. It's nothing more than a scam. Can I afford to get the PS5 Pro? Absolutely, I could. But do I want one? Do I want to fork out a PlayStation 5 with better upscaling and better resolution and better performance? No, I am not. Absolutely not. The reason being is that I am not going to be wasting £700 on another PlayStation on a PlayStation 5 when I already have one. There is no point in this. There's no point. If people who have not got a PS5 yet, because there are people still out there that do not have a PS5 and are looking to get a PS5 in the near future, my recommendation is for those first-time buyers for the PS5 who are looking to buy a PS5, for the season holidays, with Christmas, I would strongly recommend getting the bog standard PS5, the first model PS5, because you can get one with the disk drive and you're paying half the price. I bought this PS5 from my cousin for £380. So instead of wasting, all in all, $810 or £810 is where you can get the PS5 standard for £500 with the disk drive and the stand itself. So there's my thoughts. This is MFC 1988. Don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. Until then, guys, take care, and I'll do another video very soon.